Okay, so I thought that I would do some career and finance readings, just short, like, yeah, general, like past, present, future, see what's coming in for the month ahead. I know people ask me for those as well as the love readings, so let's see what we've got. Because it's still Easter holidays for me, I'm on Welsh holidays, so I've got the time to do career and finance, so I just thought I'd do it. So starting off with Aries. Aries the Ram. I might, because they'll be really short, I'll just get like 3 cards. One for past, one for present, one for future. And I can probably get through all the signs, to be honest, in one go. Hi, welcome into the chat. Oh my goodness, so many people online. Okay, spirit guides, universe and angels. For the sign of Aries, please can you give me 3 cards, one for past, one for present, and one for the future. The past being the last month, the present being today, tomorrow, yesterday, and the future being the month ahead. Okay, so just generally, how is finance for past, first of all, for past, for the sign of Aries. Hi, welcome in. Something flipped over then, I'm good. I'm very good, thank you. I'm still on my holidays. Are you watching from Asia? That's cool. So for the past, as in the last month, got the Ace of Wands reversed. So you could have had the ending of a job, or trying to think, it's such a long time since I did career and finance, but basically if the Ace of Wands is upright, it's a rebirth. Okay, something kind of, some kind of business venture, something really exciting, something you're really passionate about. Now I'm from the UK. Something you're really passionate about, and you know, so it could be starting off like a business venture and the universe is meeting you halfway, and you know, there's all this energy and you see the emotion at the bottom. You see this as a seed and there's a shoot and it's so fruitful and prosperous. When it's reversed, it's like maybe a business failed to get off, you know, off the ground or something like this, or the equivalent. Let's get one for the present. So literally like today, tomorrow, or yesterday. Very, very present energy. Aries as finances. Oh, wait, that's just gone right on the floor. Hang on. The Four of Pentacles reversed, so you might be finding that you have to spend some money. You might be finding that you've got more outgoings rather than incomings, because the Four of Pentacles upright is the miser. It's someone who doesn't want to spend money. It's someone who's conserving what they have. They're saving it up. Whenever a Pentacles card is face down, it's money falling out, okay, of the purse or the wallet or the bank. So, I mean, we all have to do that. Money has to be spent, but you might find that money is a bit tight, okay? These are free collective readings. I'm not charging for them. It's for anyone who's the sign of Aries. What about for the future then? As in just the near future, like the next month, the month of May. Give me a card for Aries as finance, please. For the month of May, the month ahead. Right, they've given me a narrative here. So I'll start from the back. So the Three of Swords could be an ending, heartbreak, to do with finances. Your finances could be affected by a relationship, or you could just be in a lot of distress. The Eight of Pentacles, though, is growth and investment. It's looking to the future. So that could be, you know, starting at college or university, being a mature student. It could be asking for, you know, courses, to be put on courses with the company that you're currently working for, you know, to upskill yourself. You could be looking around for jobs that pay more money. But the Eight of Pentacles is growth and investment. So it's normally when you take on more trades. If you're a plumber or you have some sort of trade, you might say, do you know what, I'm going to like branch out and I'm going to get more trades. Or I'm going to move to a firm where there's more money, more hours, something like this. So it's growth and expansion. It's normally upskilling, though, improving your skill set, getting better. You could ask for a mentor, you know, and say, like, I really want to get better. Can you mentor me? Now, the Nine of Pentacles reversed, when it's upright, it's being self-sufficient. It's having enough money for yourself as an individual. When it's reversed, it's wanting to collaborate. It's wanting to be the Ten of Pentacles, which is two people putting their wealth together. We've got the Queen of Cups. So we've got healing. We've got empathy. We've got compassion. The Five of Swords is arguments, okay? It's verbal disagreements, bit of toing and froing going on. Oh my goodness, look, we've got a divine counterpart. We've got the Queen of Cups. And we've got the... no, it's not, sorry. I thought it was the King of Cups. It's the Knight of Cups. We've got a Knight of Cups. Someone wants to... I think somebody wants to collaborate with you, but not in a sort of... It's like somebody wants to help because they emotionally care about you. Like cups are full of water, which is emotion in tarot. So someone cares about you and they want to help you. The Page of Swords reversed is... It's not watching, observing, or waiting, or gathering information. It's the opposite of that. So it's like turning a blind eye to something, looking away from something. The Three of Wands is taking action. You know, Two of Wands is I want to pick A or B. The Three of Wands is I've made my choice and now I'm going to act upon it. Hi, Ruth. We've got the High Priestess reversed. So the High Priestess, when she's upright, is spirituality, intuition. It's trusting and having faith that things are going to work out. Making decisions based off of your instincts. What are your instincts telling you to do? Do you believe that everything will work its way out? Like, it's spirituality, it's your crown chakra, rather than logic or heart. It's more like your gut, your instincts, trust. So after a huge disappointment, there's going to be investment. You're going to grow and build, and you're going to make a big effort to do that, and then you'll heal. There may be some discussions, and now she was reversed, wasn't she, the High Priestess? Some sort of action, you'll act upon what you were going to, but actually the Knight of Cups was reversed, wasn't it? The Queen of Cups, the Knight of Cups. Perhaps you're going to rely upon yourself. You're going to try to not involve anyone else. You're going to try to sort it out by yourself, I think, is what's happening here. Because you're definitely taking action. You've made a decision, but you're not leaving anything up to chance. And you don't feel like you've got enough for yourself. You've not grown enough investment-wise, business-wise, savings-wise. There's been outgoings. Take action to recover from it, to become self-sufficient once again. It'll be through taking on courses, additional trades, or switching workplaces. I get more like upskilling and branching out rather than moving. Okay, so back to you, Aries. Right, on to Taurus. Whoops, we just lost the shell. From Croatia, wow. This is a career and finance reading. It's a general reading for anyone who's a sign of Taurus. I'm going through the signs and it's career and finance. I'll be doing the weekly love readings on Friday or Saturday. You can book an individual reading for £18. It'll be 20 minutes, private, just for you, individual to you. Or you can wait till I've got 500 subscribers and I get authorised for super chats, and then I'll start to do lives where I answer your personal questions, but for a super chat it won't be for free. It'll be £10. Okay, so Spirit guides, universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Taurus's highest good. Please give me 3 cards for Taurus's education, career and finance. 1 for past, 1 for present and 1 for the future. The past being the last month, the present being today, tomorrow or yesterday, and the nearest future being the next month, the month of May. 3 cards, please. First one, the recent past. Taurus's career and finance for the recent past. So, for the recent past, Taurus, you've got the Page of Swords for career and finance, okay? Or education. So the Page of Swords is when you're doing research, you're watching, you're waiting, you're observing, okay? So there could be a situation in your workplace or with your education or your career, your savings, where you've been doing a lot of thinking. You haven't made any moves yet, but you are gathering information, you're doing research, okay? In the research phase. What about in the present situation then? The present situation. So the challenge, in the challenge position, you've got the Two of Wands, Taurus. So when it comes to education, career and finance, you need to make a decision between A and B. You might have a choice, okay, of workplaces or a choice of universities, a choice of colleges, a choice of occupation. You might be wondering, should I stay in what I'm doing or have a change up? There's a choice to be made, okay? So at the moment, you're not sure. This is the challenge. What about the nearest future in the next month, the month of May? Give me a card, please, Spirit, for Taurus's finance, career, finance, education. Okay, so we've got the Fool reversed. Now, the Fool, when it's upright, is it's someone who's taking a leap of faith into the unknown, okay? So, I mean, you can take calculated risks and you can take risks that are just like feckless, they're completely outrageously like, you know, blasé, overly, you know, full of risk, foolish, totally foolish. I would say when it's upright, someone's got fairly good confidence that they'll take a leap and it'll be all right. Okay, so when I say take a leap, it's like when people go cliff diving and they jump, you know, from quite a way up, and sometimes they're all right, aren't they? And then it's like a big thrill and it's fun and, you know, it's a trust exercise. There's always danger, but when it's the Fool reversed, it's like it's known to be treacherous. This is known to be high risk, where we're going to cliff dive and still doing it anyway, you know, and risking getting your ankle smashed. It's foolish. So it's either someone who's unwilling to take a leap because it's way too risky, or they're going to do it and, you know, maybe it'll be okay, maybe it won't. Well, there's risk involved. There's quite a lot of risk. See, that's an interesting card, isn't it? Because, well, it's an interesting spread because we've gone from doing research to needing to make a decision, to needing to pick a direction, A or B. And then we've got, I mean, that could represent being unwilling to take a leap. You might say, no, I'm going to stick where I am because it's, you know, I could go out the frying pan into the fire, or I think my situation, having weighed it up, is pretty good actually, you know? So very, like, moving with caution over the last couple of months, Taurus, when it comes to, you've definitely done your research, you've not been blind. You've been really considering this and waiting to see how the land lies. Waiting to see what's going on in the workplace with your boss, with management, with, you know, colleagues, who are temporary, colleagues who are permanent. Like, what's the situation? Who's on maternity? Who's this? Who's that? You know, how is budget changing? How's the wider world changing? Is there opportunities coming up? Like, you've been watching and waiting, and it looks like you're not going to jump. I think you're going to stay where you are, at least for the month of May, anyway. Interesting. Okay, I hope that resonates, Taurus. I hope you enjoyed that one. They're just mini reads, okay, for career and finance. This is extra to what I do normally. I normally just do the love readings. Right, next up, Gemini. Oh dear. Let's get you back. I'll get my showers as well, because we don't stand on them. Razor shells off the beach in Wales, actually. There we go. Gemini, the twins. Hi, Jyoti. I'm sorry if I mispronounce your names. Jalaluddin. I can't read that one. The one beginning with F. Ruth, Ivik, or Ivich. Niraj, Shavon. Right, let's see how Gemini is looking, career, education, finance-wise. Gemini, the twins. Spirit guides, universe, and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Gemini's highest good. Please can you give me 3 cards for Gemini's past, present, and future? The past being the last month, the present being today, tomorrow, and yesterday, and the near future, so the month ahead, the month of May. First of all, one for the past, Gemini's past. Finances, career, and education. Yes, you could be studying, you could be retired, you could be working. Okay, so I'm looking at everyone. Just a general reading. Okay, so we've got the 9 of Pentacles reversed. Now, the 9 of Pentacles, when it's upright, is having enough money to pay your own way. When it's reversed, it's either not having enough to pay your own way, needing to be dependent on others, or, you know, relying on some sort of support from others to fund yourself. It can be desiring to put your wealth together with another person, so the next step would be the 10 of Pentacles. It's weird, someone's at the door now. Okay, what about the present, today, tomorrow, and yesterday? The 9 of Wands, yeah, something's been difficult, something's been a challenge. It's been quite a while that you've been struggling to, you know, get to the point where you feel like you can pay for yourself, you know, you're independent, you're financially independent as a single person. What about the future then, the month ahead, the month of May? for career, education and finance for Taurus. For Taurus, why I'm saying that? For Gemini. I was thinking about Taurus, how it's gone into Taurus season. It's my birthday soon. You could be a Taurus Gemini cluster. The month ahead. The Seven of Wands reversed. So the Seven of Wands upright is being competitive. It's feeling like you've got the advantage. Like you could go up against others if you were running for promotion. Or you needed to compete, you know, with like 4 or 5 other people. Or 6 or 7 other people. Like you got a pretty good chance because you got the high ground. You got the advantage. You know, it's Wands, it's fire energy. It's competitive. Ambitious, assertive, confident, solar plexus. Like when it's reversed, it's feeling disadvantageous. So remember, this is just for the month ahead. So in the month of May, you might feel at a loss. You might feel like you're not the best candidate. You never know, guys. You just never know. Me and my friend were talking about this just last night, because sometimes you're going for a job and there's a few people down for interview and then they don't turn up on the day. They're not well, or they decide they don't want it. You know, the circumstances change, they get offered a job somewhere else. You just don't know, you know. But from your perspective, you don't feel like you would have a good chance at something. So thinking about career, you might feel like you know, it's not a good time to kind of go for a leveling up if a job comes up. You might feel like the answer would be no if you were to ask for a raise, or you might feel like you don't stand out, you know, the way that the rest of the team do or someone else in the team does. You might feel like they've already got the job, you know, you're good at what you do, but they've already got the job earmarked for someone else. There could be nepotism, you know, in the company, like where they promote family members or best friends or someone they know through someone else. You get the idea, don't you? You might feel like you want to start off a business, but you haven't got the edge over your competitors, your rivals. You know, there might be bigger companies that you just can't compete with. So you may feel yeah, or you may be like, if you're retired, you might be wanting to take money out, but you can't because it's tied into an agreement or something, you know, when you try to release some of your pension early, like some of your retirement funds early and all this stuff. And I tell you what people struggle with when they want to leave a workplace. The number of like companies that do not want you to go part-time because they really need you to work full-time hours. It's quite hard to get that where your boss is all right with you going part-time. But I think this is to do with competition. Okay, so it's a lack of confidence in your own ability, or you are literally and factually at a disadvantage at the moment in the month of May. Okay. I mean, the Nine of Wands is like you're near the end of a cycle. So it may just be like, you know, a little bit more of a wait and then you'll come to the end. Okay, so that is you, Gemini. You might look at the cards and think, yeah, I know what that's about. Everyone's got different situations, haven't they? I think that candle's a bit noisy. I'm just going to blow it out. It wouldn't let me blow it out. Oh my god. Okay, so Cancer. I need to push this table closer. Everything keeps falling down. Cancer the Crab. Let's see how education, career and finance are going for you. Lately, last couple of months. Or this month and the month ahead. I'll get 3 cards, one for your past, one for your present, and one for your future. Whoops. Oh, for goodness sake. They're free collective readings. I'm not doing individuals. It's your birthday on the 25th. Happy birthday. What day are we on today? Is it your birthday tomorrow? Is it the 24th today? 23rd. Okay, so it's going to be your birthday on Friday. Happy birthday for Friday. Oh, is it your birthday Friday as well? That's strange, isn't it? Okay, so Cancer, for the sign of Cancer, Spirit, Universe, and Angels, please can you give me 3 cards? One for the past, one for the present, and one for the future. For career, education, and finances for the sign of Cancer. First of all, the past, so the last month. So the month of April. Right, we've got a bit of a story here. We've got the 10 of Swords reversed. The 4 of Wands upright. The 3 of Wands reversed and the Page of Wands reversed. Right, let's go through each one. The 10 of Swords is the end of a cycle that's been incredibly painful. Painful, stressful, full of fear, full of anxiety, okay? The only good thing we can say is we're being released from that. 10 is the end of a cycle. The numbers run from 2 to 10, okay? The 4 of Wands is stability. 4 is a number of stability. It's the 1111 card. So usually we would talk about stability in a love sense, being marriage, being a home, the 4 walls to a house, you know, 2 people in union, exclusive, the whole town is aware that they live together, that they're married, stability. In a finance reading, it could be, you know, rent, mortgages, home ownership. Think about cars, assets, businesses, houses. Let's look at the other cards. It's upright, which is good, but it's in combination with the end of a cycle of a lot of fear. So you may find that you struggle to pay finances and it's been really, really stressful. Struggle to pay the rent, struggle to pay the mortgage, unable to get to a point where you've got enough money saved for a deposit on a house maybe. Or you used to be able to afford your mortgage and now you can't, you know, because the cost of living's gone up or your situation's changed. The 3 of Wands reversed is, it's when you've made a decision between A or B and you've picked what you want, you've picked it, but you're not taking action. And then look, we've got the Page of Wands reversed. The Page of Wands upright is someone who's at the beginning of an adventure and they're excited, they're naively excited about it. When it's reversed, it's being unenthused, unexcited, that's not good grammar, is it? Unenthused, okay, not excited at all, you know. So I think you know what you need to do. And it's with regards to a property, a house, a business, you know, some sort of asset like a car or something. But we're not doing it because it's scary, or yeah, because swords are mental activity. It's not like we've got a lack of pentacles. What we've got is fear, anxiety, worry. Okay, that's what swords represent. It's thought processes, and something's been really, really difficult for a long time. And it's not like the Ten of Wands, which is challenges that we're, you know, taking on more and more challenges and having to be strong and have stamina. It's more like fear or distress, like it's emotions, like thoughts. So you may have been frightened of losing your home. You may have found it difficult to acquire a home. You may be struggling to pay for it. It's something that's been really tough with regards to stability. Because it's a career and finance reading, that's what I'm like putting it down to. You know, it's not a love reading, it's not a general reading, it's career and finance. So even though we haven't got Pentacles cards, I'm looking at it from a financial point of view. What causes most people to worry is the thought of losing their home or not being able to get on the property ladder. Let's get one for the present, for Cancer. Or you've not found a house that you like. People don't want to make a huge commitment, you know, and live in a house that they're not really happy with, or it's not suitable, you know. So trying to find a house, my goodness, in the UK, that the property market is so flat, like there is not enough housing stock. So there's a lot of very expensive houses being built. There's not enough, you know, decent kind of like 3-bedroom homes or 4-bedroom homes where the bedroom is actually a decent size. You know, it's more like a 2-bedroom. And people have multiple children. They don't just have one child. So you need that 3rd bedroom to be a decent size, and it just never is. I don't know why they make houses like that. They're like 50s, 1950s properties, and they're just not suitable at all for like modern living. The 6 of Swords reversed. So the 6 of Swords upright is moving on. The 6 of Swords is, you see this person's in a boat and they're travelling away. It's a sense of leaving. You see, swords are, we've talked about swords being thought and emotion and thought processes, difficult thoughts. It's leaving the past behind when it's upright. When it's reversed, it's unfinished business. So something definitely, that just fits together so well, because in the past we had this journey that we know we want to take, but we're not taking it. We're not taking any action because something isn't right. It wouldn't be the right time, or it's not the right move right now. You know, like we haven't found the house that we want, or we don't have enough, or something's been a struggle to do with assets or property. Could be a house specifically, could be a business. Yeah, it's career and finance, so I'm not touching anything else really. What about the future? What about the month of May? Just the month ahead, because things change constantly, so you have to think about all the external realities, you know. the job market changes, the house market changes, you know, the cost of living changes, taxes, stamp duties, everything external is way bigger than you or me, or any singular human being. It's all major patterns that are happening globally, nationally, you know, so those realities are constantly changing. So we're not going to look really far ahead. We're just going to look at the month ahead, okay? Look at this. We've got the Magician reversed. So the Magician upright is all four aces. It's someone who has all the tools to succeed. They have the Ace of Pentacles. They have the money, the investment, the deposit, the salary, the pension, the insurance, you know. The Ace of Swords will be the knowledge, the information, the facts, the strategy, yeah, the logic, the approach. The Ace of Wands would be the motivation, self-motivation, energy levels, passion, enthusiasm, you know, that fire to like that determination to go for it. Your mood has to be right, doesn't it? You have to really want it. You have to have good health. If you had the flu or something, there's not a chance that you're going to like get anything organised or actuate anything. You'd be out of business. You'd be out of action like for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, laid down in your bed. You'd be incapacitated to problem solve. You'd have no physical energy. So it's very important in terms of Ace of Wands. You've got to have that energy level, that passion, that enthusiasm, determination. You've got to be resilient, confident. What have I missed? Ace of Cups, you know, empathy, the ability to stay calm. You know, you don't want to be like getting overly upset. You don't want to be getting overly angry, though we all do that when we're looking for a house or a job. Taking interviews, waiting to hear. You get very frustrated, don't you? Very upset, disappointed. You feel drained after. Of course, sometimes you get the payoff, sometimes you don't. Or you think you've got a house and then you... In the UK, we get gazumped, so people can put in a higher offer and so it falls through, you know. Or if you're in a chain of people buying homes and the person you're buying from, you know, their person can't sell, so then they can't sell theirs and then you can't have your home that you wanted. So everything can fall through. I'm just going into that because it's actually reversed. So we're not the Magician. We don't have all the tools to succeed. Something's missing, okay? So it could be knowledge, it could be energy, it could be the ability to stay calm. Maybe we can't manage our emotions, you know, to handle it. Sometimes people put their house on the market and they take it off again because they're like, it's not the right time. You've had loads going on. Not doing it. People change their minds. And then what else have we got? Pentacles, you might not have the money. Something just isn't right, okay? So it's only for the next 4 weeks, but there's something unresolved, should we say, to do with property or a business or your security. There's something that you want to take action on, but you're not prepared to do it. It's unfinished business. We don't have the tools right now. Okay, it's just not the time. So I don't know. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that resonates for some people who are the sign of Cancer out there. As I say, everything's constantly changing. I'll give you an example. I felt like there was no jobs available. Okay, did absolutely nothing. Went on supply. I got asked if I would like a job at a school that I was working in. Didn't have to interview for it. Okay, so having done everything right and going to interviews and stuff, my manifestation came through. months and months later, after me like pushing and trying to control everything, it came to me. And then I've been trying not to like think about it too much, and then a few months have gone by. I've enjoyed having some stability. I know it's a fixed term contract. I need to start looking at jobs. And then it's just been announced that posts that were put out for vacancies in our school are being taken back because they've got a new situation budget wise now. It's wider things out of our control. So where they might have taken on someone more experienced that costs more than me, I might have a better chance now. And I've done nothing to affect that. I've done absolutely nothing. It's external realities. It's stuff that's bigger than me. It's stuff that's bigger than the school. So, this is what people are up against when they're trying to move around. Certainly in teaching, is they're worried that they're too expensive, because it's always tempting for a school to take the cheapest teachers, the teachers that are fresh into the profession. Of course, depending on your needs, you might want someone who's got way more experience, but that's just an example. And then suddenly 2 people said, oh, I'm going to be leaving my school. I never thought they'd leave. The one's decided to go to, another country, work in Dubai. Another one is moving house, so she needs a job where she's going to be getting a house because her relationship fell through. And she wasn't expecting that. She didn't have the clue that her boyfriend was going to turn around and finish it when they were looking to buy a house together. So it's so much changes all the time that sometimes you don't need to do anything, okay? And life will deal you a different set of cards a month later or 2 months later. Right, on to Leo. Obviously, I'm not saying sit around and don't do anything. Like, I've got a need to keep my eyes open for jobs, but you just don't know, do you? You don't know. So I'm not thinking, oh my God, what's going to happen to me? I'm not panicking because I'm 40 this year and I know that things constantly change. So the best laid plans and all that, everything gets thrown up in the air. And it lands how it's, how the universe wants it to land. You can manifest, but it won't happen exactly how and when you want it to happen. You've just got to let your angels and your guides do their work. What you can ask for is, if you're asking for love, you can say, I want a person with these qualities, please. Say it out loud. Spirit guides, my angels, I want a person with these qualities. I want a workplace with these qualities, please. I want a house with these qualities, or I would like to set up a business and I would like it to do well. I actually did that on Lionsgate, which is the 8th of August. The 8th of the 8th. And my channel started to get hits where it wasn't doing anything. It happened after I asked for that on Lionsgate. 8th of the 8th, which is a portal that everyone goes on about in the tarot community. So, there you go. A couple of tips there. Okay, Leo. Spirit guides, please can you give me 3 cards for Leo? One for the past, one for the present, and one for the future. The past being the last month. So the month of April. The present being today, tomorrow, and yesterday. And the future, the near future, like the month of May. So first of all, career and finance, one for the past, the recent past. The last month or so. What has been Leo's situation? The Temperance, okay, so major for Sagittarius. Temperance is a need for balancing emotions, so particularly anger and disappointment, upset, trying to manage those, and you have managed it. you've managed your emotions really well, Leo, okay? Because this is fire energy, and you are a fire sign, you're Leo, the lion. But you've managed to remain calm, so well done. Okay, in the present energy, we've got the Knight of Swords. So you've got a lot of brain activity going on here. Sorry, I'll keep... Oh, it's not the king, is it? It's the knight. That's very different, okay, to what I was going to say. The Knight of Swords is an urgent message. So this could be news, okay, that you've received recently. Or something you're going to tell your workplace or colleagues or business partner, something you're going to tell your bank, something you're going to tell anyone that you deal with in finances, an urgent communication. So you're delivering that, or it's going to come to you, or it has come to you in the recent past, so today, tomorrow, yesterday. Knights travel, okay, they deliver messages. Swords are communication. And it's urgent, okay, it's something very quick. Could be email, you know, think about modern communication. It doesn't have to be verbal, it could be emails going back and forth frantically, WhatsApp group messages or phone calls. Ooh. So for the month of May, the challenge is, am I satisfied? Am I content? Because the Nine of Cups is a person who, as an individual, is happy, they're fulfilled, they're satiated, they have all these cups, you know, full of emotion. If it's reversed, it's been an unhappy individual, you know, I'm unhappy within myself. With it, this is the challenge, you know, like I've been calm, some kind of email or phone call has happened or is going to happen. And then am I content? Am I okay? Am I happy? Can I be happy, you know, with things how they are? So that's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. The other connotation to it is like, it's not the Nine of Pentacles, which would be being able to fund yourself financially or having security. It's about being emotionally fulfilled. So just to like be more specific, because the Ten of Cups is familial happiness. It's everyone in your family home being happy and having a cup full of emotion. This is you by yourself. So I wonder if you're reassessing, you know, I don't know. There's definitely going to be some sort of communication or urgent message. And then you're going to think, am I content? Something through emotional fulfillment. Just remember that you've always got friends and family for support. Don't be too proud to ask for help or to run things by people. You don't have to do everything alone. I don't know why I feel the need to say that, but okay, Virgo. Oh. Blast. Hold on. Got it. Squashed it. Never mind. There we go. Better just give them a little shuffle. Onto the Maiden. Okay, spirit guides, universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Virgo's highest good. What is happening with Virgo's education, career and finance? Can you give me 3 cards, please? 1 for the recent past, so the last month. 1 for the present, today, tomorrow, yesterday. And 1 for the near future, the month ahead, the month of May. First of all, the past. So how has April been financially for Virgo? The 5 of Pentacles reversed, so that's a positive reversal. If it was upright, we'd be struggling, okay? We'd have a lack of abundance, a lack of investment. Pentacles are time, money and energy. When it's reversed, when it's upright, we've got a lack of that. 5 is never a good number, really, for any of these suits. 5 of Cups is grief, sadness, loss, regret. 5 of Swords, arguments, verbal disagreements. 5 of Wands, inner or outer conflict. 5 of Pentacles is being low on money, low on abundance generally. So you could be struggling for money, or you could have been struggling for money, but we're coming out of that. Things are recovering because it's in the reverse, okay? So you could have finances that are starting to like top back up to where they were if you've had a lot of outgoings, or if someone suddenly increased your rent, or you know, you got made redundant or something. If your outgoings went up, things are getting a bit better. They're getting a bit easier. So for the present, we've got the 8 of Cups reversed and the Moon, major for Pisces. So the 8 of Cups, when it's upright, is walking away from a relationship. When it's reversed, it's avoiding a relationship ending. It's not wanting to walk away, not wanting a separation, not wanting an ending. And this is the fear, okay? So this is Pisces, it's water energy. When the moon's out, everything is in darkness, so we don't know what's ahead. In the story of the major arcana, the fool realizes that he must walk forwards anyway, even if he doesn't have all the information, even if he's scared, even if, he's full of fear, he must walk forwards anyway. So there seems to be a lot. It's a finance reading, but obviously love governs finances. If you have a separation, you've got to split assets. You might have to move out. They might have to move out. So that is really scary. Okay, so possibly you're trying to avoid a separation because it put you in even more financial difficulty. And we all consider that with partnerships and separation. We all do that. It's natural because you're just trying to assess, your own situation as honestly and practicably as you can. It's no use just acting like it's not a thing, but most people have to consider how their finances will be affected. Although it shouldn't be the reason that you stay with someone. If you're unhappy where you are, you do need to leave. You just have to find the timing and the way to do it. Get support from people around you. Okay, so for the month ahead, for the month of May, we got the Page of Wands. So that fear is definitely kicking in, and we're really unenthusiastic about walking forwards, even though we kind of know what's ahead and what we need to do. It's just scary, not happy about it, not excited about, this new adventure. So yeah, you could be going through quite a heavy separation. That you really don't want You know, it's not amicable. You're not happy about it. They want it, and it means you're going to have more outgoings. You don't have to like it, do you? You have to accept it, and you have to deal with the reality and learn to adapt, but you don't have to like it. Not at all. Again, reach out to, people. There's nothing new under the sun. Everyone has done what is happening to you. They've lived it. They know people that have lived it. They probably got resources to support you, emotional, financial, practical. Be surprised how many people have, survived through divorce, separation, come out the other side and got remarried, There's life after that. Absolutely. Okay, on to Libra. So we're doing career, education, finance. You could be studying, you could be in work, you could be retired. Just trying to think about all the possibilities. I'll pull 3 cards, one for the past, one for the present, one for the future. The past being the last month or so, the present being today, tomorrow, yesterday, and the future being the month ahead, the month of May. Spirit guides, universe, and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Libra's highest good. Please give me 3 cards. First of all, one for the past, for the month of April. Give me a picture of Libra's finances. We've got the 4 of Cups. So the 4 of Cups is being closed off to opportunities. Now, cups are full of water, which is emotion. So you may be a bit emotionally shut down at the moment with regards to finances. Maybe it's normally a priority, but you just can't be thinking about it right now because you're plagued with other worries. Other things on your mind, you're distracted. So you're just not wanting to, maybe you don't want to deal with it, or maybe, it would set off your emotions to deal with it, something like this. It's about emotion being offered to you and, and blocking it, being closed off. What about the present then? Today, tomorrow, yesterday? Maybe you got offered a job, I would probably see that more as the Page of Pentacles, or, yeah, I'd probably see that as the Page of Pentacles or a Knight of Pentacles, but with it being Cups, I just think it's to do with your emotions and just being blocked off emotionally. Again, you've got to be in good spirits, haven't you, to kind of feel optimistic and accepting of change, and I feel like you're quite shut off. What about the present? Got the Queen of Swords. I tell you what, in the love readings, the weekly love readings, she popped out for almost every single zodiac sign out of the 12 signs. This one was in every single one of them practically. I don't know if there was like one sign where she wasn't there. Couldn't get rid of her. So it looks like this is to do with marriage. We've got the Queen of Swords, which can be a divorce card. The Lovers, which is two people who are, you know, in a soul connection, a soul union. And we've got the Five of Wands reversed, so we're avoiding conflict, really trying to avoid arguments, disagreements, physical altercations. Maybe this is what's been on your mind. It's caused you to be shut down. The Queen of Swords is I was going to say she's factful. She's facts, she's truth, she's honesty, she's integrity. She speaks very straight. Okay, emotions are not involved. It's about logic. It's not about the heart. So you might be having to navigate through. I don't really like the word navigate, but fight your way through. You know, cut your way through like a sort of challenging environment at the moment, and so you're emotionally shut off. Like, for example, if you were to interview, would you even be in the right headspace to like do a good job at it? Do you know what I mean? That's what I mean. Like, still affects your career and your finance, doesn't it? Because you've got to have your head in the right space to make all the effort that goes into preparation for an interview, doing the interview day, and then dealing with, you know, rejection or potential major change. It's all nerve-wracking. Oh my God, look. 8 of Cups in the month ahead. Separation, walking away. You've got loads going on. You've got loads going on at the moment. So if you're the 8 of Cups, you are not going to be 4 of Cups reversed. You can't be, because how can you go through an ending, a major life-changing event, and be up for, you know, new? You can't be. You've got to process what's happened, and it takes ages. You know, it can take years for people to adjust. You know, you've got all the legal stuff to deal with. You've got the emotional stuff to deal with. Finances are really like a lot to deal with. Like, where you've always done it together, you've got to, you know, be fully responsible for your own finances. It can be scary. But again, lean on people around you. You know, you may know people who are dealing with finances all by themselves, whether they're single and unmarried, or whether they're married and they've just kept separate bank accounts because, you know, they're not someone that wants to have a joint. Not everyone has everything joint. They don't do that. Some people keep everything totally separate, you know. Some people have learnt the hard way, you know, and they just don't want to make themselves vulnerable like that anymore. Doesn't mean they're not going to get into a relationship or get married again, but they will probably keep the finances more independent of each other. Doesn't mean not going to like each be 50-50, but you just don't need to put everything together, do you? Don't you need to? I don't know. It's a contentious one, that one, but it's just a fact. It's just strange, isn't it? Because for a financial reading, we've got no cards with pentacles at all, but it's so much heavy emotion. Really trying to go through a major separation, you know, a marriage or moving out of a home, and split finances up. Don't envy it, but it's happening. It's happening. That's what's going on at the moment. Fun fact about Librans, they crave balance, and their emotions are like pendulums. So if they're together, they want to be single. When they're single, they want to be together. They can never quite find the right balance. Librans always see things from, the opposite point of view, and they're constantly trying to find balance. So I know, because I'm Libra moon, and it plagues my emotions. Something terrible. Very, very little do I feel like fully content. I can do, but it never seems to last. We do not like drama, though. Allergic to drama, hate drama. Right, on to Scorpio. Let's have a look at Scorpio's finances, career, finances, education. Spirit, can you give me 3 cards, please? One for Scorpio's past, say the last month or so. Then one for the present, today, tomorrow, yesterday. And then one for, oh God, I've got loads coming out. One for the future, the near future, so the month ahead, the month of May. Right, I'm going to look at both clumps of cards. So first, I've still got another clump here, so just hold your horses. I'll go from the back. We've got the 2 of Cups, which is 2 people that have recently met being in love. We've got the Temperance, major for Sagittarius. You could be a cusper, Scorpio, Sagittarius cusper, or you may just be feeling very zen. You're managing to temper your emotions very well, keep a balance. We've got the 4 of Wands. We've got lots of stability. We've got a Tower reversed. So we've avoided a Tower moment, which is major change. So it would be like the end of a relationship, or the end of a job, or changing jobs, or getting into a relationship, or announcing a pregnancy, moving abroad. Towers are major change, like the landscape of your life will never be the same. We've avoided a Tower, but we've avoided a call to action. The 5 of Cups reversed, recovery from grief, sadness, loss, regret. The Knight of Wands reversed. So the Knight of Wands upright is someone who is very impulsive, very like spontaneous, they just go with what feels right at the time. Very, very passionate. When it's reversed, it could be anger, it could be overly kind of, when someone's so spontaneous that you like can't keep up with them, and you're like, this is just madness now, like they've gone manic or something, because they're just not thinking straight at all, like they've gone frivolous, like completely like insane. You know what I'm getting? Like, I haven't looked at the other clump yet, so don't forget we've got the other cards. But that makes me think of, because this is a finance reading, it makes me think of a couple that are quite early on jumping into home ownership. It's like done with a lot of passion, but it's been done like, okay, fine, we'll get a house, like to shut, like one person's doing it to shut the other one up, because there would have been a Tower, and there should be someone acting in the proper way, and they're not doing it. So it just said, I know that's just what I'm getting like from that set, but let's look at the other ones. Look. Oh my God, I'm good. Look, the Fool reversed. King of Swords upright. 3 of Wands reversed. 3 of Swords upright. Let's go through each one. So the Fool, when it's upright, Aries energy, it's wands, it's Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, it's passion, adventure, it's being ready to take a leap of faith. When it's reversed, it's either refusal to take a leap of faith or being absolutely reckless, just like psychotically, dangerously, like risky. Like everything says don't do it and we're just doing it anyway because we're just mad like that. King of Swords, this one, he's very logical, very intelligent, cerebral, careful. They are not like that at all. This is a person who thinks about everything 10 times before they make a move. It's a chess player, like they calculate and they strategize. It's like being a football manager. Nothing's done on a whim. Everything's calculated. Things talks like years in advance, checking budgets, checking finances, looking at who's hot, weighing up all your options, like business talks going on like 6 months, a year in advance. Everything's in advance. By the time you know what's going on in this person's head, they've been thinking about that for weeks or months. Like it's not decisions made on a whim. So I think what we've got here is someone who didn't act. They didn't act. They went really logical and cerebral. They didn't act. And we got heartbreak. And then that's so weird, isn't it? Because then I said about there's two people that are at the beginning of a relationship. We've got something to do with going exclusive, but it's not a love reading, it's a finance reading. So it's something to do with a house, a home, stability, avoiding a tower, avoiding major change. And what would be a major change when it comes to the Two of Cups and the Three of Swords? It would be the end of a relationship. We've got not a lack of like recovery from grief, sadness, loss, regret. Knight of Wands, somebody's just like crazy frivolous, like jumps in, like completely foolish to the point of irresponsible, like just insane. So it's very opposite energies. It's like no, and then it's like, okay, fine, to save the relationship, we'll get a house, we'll do what you want, and we'll just jump in, and it's avoided an ending. That's so many cards to get for the past, for the last month. It doesn't have to be we'll get a house. It's just like, in terms of stability, that's usually the aim. That's usually what binds two people together. It could be that it's two business partners saying, okay, fine, we'll set up a business, and we'll go ahead with this business venture, or we'll launch our product. Do you know what I mean? We'll launch our channel, we'll do whatever. Like, we've saved this kind of like early business partnership by going ahead. If you're not involved with anyone, like, in a love sense, if you're not in a relationship, it could be a business partnership, or who do you deal with in finances. Stocks and shares, investments, bonds. Something was going to end and then it was saved, put it that way. Because one person caved, that it was to save whatever connection or partnership. What about the present? Could be, I'm just thinking as well, it could be like you and an employer, you know, you and a boss. The Nine of Pentacles reversed, not having enough to go solo or not wishing to be solo, you know, to have split finances. That's more likely, isn't it? Not wanting to have. It's like when you're the Nine of Pentacles upright, you're happy to be single. You can pay for yourself. You don't need anyone. You're self-sufficient. When it's reversed, you wouldn't have enough if you were by yourself. So it's like, I don't want a separation because I can't afford to get a place on my salary. It has to be yours and mine together. Or, you know, if one of you earns a lot less than the other, or one of you works and the other one doesn't. If one of you has the deposit, you know, that makes it possible, or one of you has the credit history that makes it possible, and the other doesn't, it's like you need each other, do you know what I mean? Because even if they've got enough for the deposit or a good credit history, they haven't got the full amount to pay that each month long term. So in the future, we've got the Emperor reversed. See this, the Emperor upright is Aries energy. It's the Emperor is like the highest status in the tarot deck. He's all four kings. So it goes pages, knights, kings, and then Emperor, or pages, knights, queens, and Empress. He's of equal status, the Empress. She's all four queens, he's all four kings. He's in charge of his empire. He has all four kings, so he's the King of Swords. Which did we have the King of Swords? I feel like we did, didn't we? Why am I thinking of the King of Swords? Or is that another one that I'm getting mixed up with? Yeah, we have got the King of Swords. So the King of Swords is upright, so it's not a lack of strategy or a lack of knowledge or thought process going on that's causing the Emperor to be in reverse. It could be a lack of money. He could be the King of Pentacles reverse. He could be the King of Wands reverse. He could be the King of Cups reversed. There could be a problem with passion, enthusiasm, self-motivation. There could be a problem with money. There could be a problem with empathy, patience. Because that Emperor, the Nine of Pentacles reversed, is not having enough to pay for yourself if you were single, or not wanting to be single because of finances. It's wanting to have joint finances, you know, Ten of Pentacles, lasting generational wealth. The Emperor reversed. What have we got here? Knight of Wands reversed, Five of Cups reversed, Judgment reversed. Emotions have been good because the Temperance was upright. And the Two of Cups was upright. But that was, I feel like there was two people's feelings going on in those two separate spreads. Basically, the Emperor's job is to be fully in control of everything that's going on, to think everything through carefully, to take advice, to take wisdom and wise counsel, to not do anything on a whim, to not endanger himself. If messages have to be sent, they go to the next citadel, you know, on a horseback via a knight. An emperor does not deliver his own messages. He may lead his own war, and he may go onto the battlefield, but it's like, it's an all or nothing, you know, it's like everything's on the line by that point. This Emperor does not appear to be in control, okay, because he's reversed, or he's being overly domineering. So the Emperor reversed can be someone who's overbearing, they're controlling. You know, the Emperor, not in their best qualities, would, you know, be taking over and wielding that power in a way that's very manipulative, very unfair, very overbearing, overly controlling, obsessive, you know, holding too tightly on the reins and not working in partnership. That could be one option, or it could be the Emperor, you know, the Emperor's crown has fallen, like his chariot's overturned, like he's on his last, you know, his last legs, like he's not doing well. Things are going badly. So it's the major for Aries. So it depends if you're dealing with a Sagittarius or an Aries, or you have those in your chart. You may do. The Fool is Aries energy. King of Swords is Aquarius energy. It's like, wow, if we've saved a relationship from ending and we've secured a household, we've got stability, why are we then not the Nine of Pentacles upright? Why are we then not becoming the Emperor upright? I don't know. Something isn't right, is it? So you might feel like, I keep thinking, like, because it seems so much about two people, but it's your financial situation, isn't it, as Scorpio, for the month ahead. So let's just push them out of it for a minute. You wouldn't have enough in the present moment, how things are. You wouldn't have enough to go solo, or you don't want to. So that makes sense why in the next month or so you would be the Emperor reversed. Money's a problem for you. Money's a problem for you. Don't forget, this is just the next 4 weeks. So as I say, nothing stays the same, does it? It's all changing all the time. So that's the only advice I can give you. There was a lot going on there. That's why it took me a long time to decipher that. Scorpio, it's your fault. No, everything will change up. It always does. That's the good thing. If things aren't going well, you know it's not going to stay that way. Keep an abundance mindset. Money is continuous. It's love and money are both just energy. Energy cannot be created, nor can it be destroyed. Okay, it's constantly flowing. It's sacred geometry, has no beginning, no end. You're right in the middle of it. So money is constantly flowing all around you. So it will get sorted out. Circumstances constantly change. Even if you try to keep them the same, they don't. Something will change. You can help it to change, and then the universe will meet you halfway. But if the universe doesn't agree with something you're doing, it'll just bat out of the park, and it'll be like it never happened, all those plans. There's only so much you can do to control things. You can still manifest the life that you want, but it won't happen exactly when you want it to. Or exactly, you know, you can't detail it like super. But you can ask for certain qualities or certain, you know, roundabout locations or certain characteristics in people, places and things. And then in good time, when it's ready, in about a year, it'll come in. But you can never, ever make a particular person be with you. That's because that's against people's free will. You wouldn't need to do that if they were meant to be with you. Right, Sagittarius, the Archer. Let's have a look. How are your finances? Education, career, and finance. Spirit guides, the universe, and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Sagittarius's highest good. Please can you give me 3 cards, one for past, one for present, and one for future. The past being the recent month, so the month of April, the present being today, tomorrow, yesterday, and the near future being the month of May. First of all, the recent past for education, career, and finance. Because you could be studying, you could be working, you could be retired. The Four of Pentacles. So Sagittarius, you've been like trying to reduce costs. Any unnecessary outgoings, you may have like calmed that down a little bit. This is the miser, okay? So the Four of Pentacles, he's very much holding on to his money. He's not spending it unless it's absolutely necessary. It's a card of conserving wealth. Yeah, keeping hold of it, building it up, or trying to stop, you know, hemorrhaging it. Like we're holding on to it. We're keeping hold of what we've got, keeping it safe. It can be a little bit of a possessive energy because it's like, well, I wish to hold on to my wealth. Thank you very much. Could be keeping a much closer eye on, you know, your spends, on, what do I want to say? Like your bills, any like subscriptions. You could be looking at reinvesting money, you know, remortgaging the house, doing what you can, you know, to conserve wealth, keep hold of savings rather than use them up. Right, in the present, so today, tomorrow, yesterday, we've got a stubborn energy with the Hanged Man reversed. The Hanged Man, when he's upright, he's turning himself upside down because he's trying to see things from another perspective other than the perspective he currently has. So it's an open-minded energy where you're trying to problem solve and you don't, excuse me, want to act on anything until you've got a better understanding. Okay, this way is very stubborn. It's like it's my way or the highway. The Seven of Wands is competition. Okay, being competitive, thinking that you've got the high ground, you've got the advantage. The Two of Pentacles, trying to manage priorities. So each pentacle is a priority and we're constantly juggling them. Striving for balance. 2 is an even number, it's a number of balance. A very stubborn energy. I told you there's a lot of determination here when it comes to having balance, and you feel like you've got, you know, the answers basically. You might be unwilling to see anything from anyone else's perspective with regards to finances at the moment. It's just like, this is what we need to do. And you are a fire sign and you are very assertive, so you're very self-motivated as well. You didn't give up. None of the fire signs give up easily. You're tenacious, okay? So unrelenting, like actual fire is unrelenting. It burns through, you know, until there's nothing left, doesn't it? And it's quick. Now we've got the Seven of Swords. So in the month ahead, in the month of May, the Seven of Swords is the challenge. So is someone spending behind your back? Is someone secretly moving money? Are they secretly spending it? Are they talking about or doing things with other people, you know, involving money. Could they have invested it without your knowledge? This is lying, cheating, stealing, having secrets. Things are being done behind your back. Now, either it's you doing it. Oh, well, this is how you are, isn't it? I keep going into like you and your person because I'm so used to doing love readings, but in terms of you, it might be that it could be that someone is cheating you or keeping things from you in terms of money. Like, who manages the finances? Do you have a financial advisor? Your bank? Anyone you do business with? Scams, you know, phishing emails, literally like theft, like someone stealing your bank card. This is more a card of deception though. Yes, you could get like someone being a thief, but it's lying, cheating, stealing. I'm not saying that that's what's happening because it's not upright, and I'm not saying that it's being exposed because it's not reversed. It's the challenge. Okay, so will someone be exposed for being like fishy when it comes to spending, saving? Not just spending and saving, but if you think about the way that you earn money, some sort of behaviours or lies could be exposed in the month of May or after that. Or some sort of secret dealings, secret financial activities, connections. Even like, I'm trying to think of like financial stuff, like if you do a big shop and then you feel guilty after. Like, I only have to answer to myself because I'm single, but when you're in a marriage or a relationship, sometimes you think, shit, I shouldn't have spent that much. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be anything like major. It could just be like, is someone going to find out that I've spent loads, or am I going to find out that someone's like been spending loads? I don't know, something like this. We can't fully know, can we, from the cards, because you've all got different situations, but it's something to do with deception, this card, the Seven of Swords. It's stuff that's hidden, stuff that's unknown. Will it be exposed or will it remain a secret? Sometimes you don't want other people to know that you've got financial difficulties or that you're having to cut back. You know, if you're very proud as a family, maybe it's awkward, you know, like having to say, well, we're cutting back. I don't think most people are pretty good, being honest, these days, but some people can't stand it, can they? They're embarrassed, or maybe it's to do with debt. You know, find out someone's got debts, or they've run up debts, or they've been gambling. Trying to think about stuff that you would do behind someone's back that wouldn't be good when it comes to money. Yeah, they could be gambling. You might find out someone's got... If it was addiction, I would expect to see, you know, like Capricorn, like the devil. But the other card I expect to see when there's obsession or bad behaviours or secrets that need to be exposed is the Seven of Swords, and we have got that. Sometimes you get cheated by financial advisors, don't you? You get malinformed. Be careful about that. Be careful about that. Let's have another look at these. Being competitive. Because the Two of Pentacles can be trying to find a balance between two priorities. Two things that your priorities, like work and children, or work and relationship, or children and relationship, or work and home. You know, like two things that are very important to you, but it can also be making a decision, making a choice. Be very careful about someone trying to deceive you in the month of May. Be really careful about hiding your bank details. Keep your papers away from windowsills. Don't, you know, post any photos on social media with envelopes in the background, because that's happened before. That's happened before where people have seen full names and addresses on paperwork that's in the background of photos that they've posted, you know, like selfies and stuff. Make sure you keep a close eye on your wallet or your purse, that you know, you shield your pin when you're putting that in. Check out, you know, shops and services properly before you put your card details in. Check websites. Check emails are legit. So there's some sort of deception. Get referred to financial advisors. Don't, I mean, sometimes even when someone recommends someone, you know, they don't realise they're a scammer. Or I'd be worried about deception. I'd be worried about deception in the month of May. Just keep your eyes open, be extra careful, check things over. It doesn't mean that it's your person. It could be, you know, anyone. A shop, a service, a business, a random scammer. Could be a son or daughter, couldn't it? It happens. A burglar. Thinking of all sorts of stuff now. We had someone come into our home. We've moved a couple of times since then, but they came into the house thinking there was no one home because it was the middle of the day and there was no cars on the drive. So they just they put a leaflet through the door that pretended to be from the Red Cross, and because my dad didn't take the leaflet out the door, they went round the back of the house, walked in through the back door, and my dad was like, "What the hell?" A guy stood there in a suit with gloves on because he was posing as someone from a charity, but he had gloves on because he had the intention of burgling the house. He climbed over the fence as well. So my dad ran out the house, and then he ran back in and ran upstairs in case there's like more than one person. Do you know what I mean? Because you worry about like hardware or, you know, jewellery and stuff, but you worry about bank details or statements or anything that are printed out. Don't you worry about everything? I mean, in the UK, we don't tend to get violent crime. We tend to get like more like financial crime, like non-violent crime, you know. And it tends to be when you're out at work, or it's not really when you're in the house. People that have gone on holiday and stuff like that. People who are silly enough to write that they're going away on holiday on this date until this date on social media, do not do it. Go on holiday and then tell people after. Don't tell them before you go. Okay, spirit guides, universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Capricorn's highest good. I'd never realised until I bought these, right? Capricorn is apparently the sea goat. Does anyone know why it's the sea goat? I was so confused because I was trying to work out which stencil is the ram for Aries and which one is the goat for Capricorn. And my mum was like, well, it's got like a tail, like a fish. So I think she had an idea. that one was the Capricorn one. I thought that just because the horns are straight. I thought that's Capra, because the goats in Italy have big straight horns like that. But yeah, I didn't know it was a sea goat. I'm gonna have to Google that and learn about it. Okay, please give me 3 cards. One for Capricorn's education, finance and career in the last month. How is that looking? Okay. So we've got the 7 of Cups reversed. The 7 of Cups upright is when you're at a crossroads and you don't know, you literally have no idea which direction you're going to go in next. So, for example, if you got made redundant and you caught off guard, you didn't know it's going to happen, and then the company, they just say like, sorry, but we've gone bust or whatever. You're like, oh my God, and you suddenly got to think of a plan. That's what like kind of a crossroads the 7 of Cups is, okay? So when it's reversed, it's not just daydreaming and looking at your different options. It's actually going into delusion, okay? So overly fantasizing. I can't remember what it's called, but it begins with A, and it's a condition when people like, sometimes you choose, don't you, to just let your thoughts run away with themselves more than being in the reality. I need to find out what it's called. It's like you spend more time daydreaming and fantasizing about stuff that's actually almost like gone completely unrealistic, like, oh, what am I gonna do with my like G6 and when I've got, my 8-bedroomed house and I've got like my own island, like what? It's like we've crossed over from something that's possible to delusion. Yeah. So I don't know what you've been like fantasizing about, but maybe you've been a little bit obsessive about it or unrealistic about it, or you're just getting very, very carried away. Cups are emotion, remember? They're things that we want. Some of the things in the cups are good, some of them are bad for us. In the present, you've got the Ace of Swords reversed, so you may have a lack of clarity about what you do want. I'm just going to plug the charger in. One sec. When the Ace of Swords is upright, it's clarity, major clarity, okay? Like divine intervention, and you suddenly get this, big reality, or you realise what it is that you need to do, like a major thought, or someone confesses something, because swords can be communication as well as thought. So it could be that someone gives you the answer, or they confess something when it's upright, or you just get really good clarity about something, like which direction you're going to go next. When it's reversed, it's like someone's got a secret, or you're confused, you don't know where you're going next, okay? So there's a lack of clarity, there's a lack of like communication. There is not a confession, it's a secret. I would say, because we've got the 7 of Cups reversed, that you're just really confused where you're going next. You're in delusion with that being reversed. There's a lack of clarity at the moment over where you're going next. And this is a financial reading. Can involve love, obviously, but in terms of finances, it could be like, well, now I've got to find a job, or I need to change career because I hate what I do and I want a total change where I have no idea what I'm good at, or I have no idea what I'm passionate about. Could be like you're trying to, you know, write your next book and you got no idea what to write it about or what to do with the characters if it's a sequel. You know, maybe your publishers and your printers told you it's shit. And you got to come up with something totally new. I don't know. You know, think about different careers, different... you may be trying to pick a country to live in, pick a school to go to. It's something to do with having different options. And you might not even know what the different options are, but it's like, I don't know what to choose, or I'm enjoying not choosing because then I can't make a bad choice. There's a lack of clarity. A decision has not been made. As I say, some of the things are good for us in those cups and some of them are not good. So lots of confusion at the present. And then in the next month, in the month of May, how will finances, career and education be for Capricorn? We've got the Queen of Cups upright. So we're sort of like in our feels, very emotional. Okay, calm. If she was reversed, I'd say she could be over emotional. It would be something negative, like maybe she's over emotional or, you know, a lack of emotion. But with it being upright, I think it's someone who's emotionally balanced. Now, the ones that slid off are Seven of Pentacles reversed, the Page of Wands, and the King of Cups. We've got a divine match. The King and the Queen of Cups. Have you been choosing options in love? Because we've got a Page of Wands, someone who's excited for a brand new adventure. And the Seven of Pentacles reversed. This is to do with love. It's to do with a spouse or a soulmate. The beginning of a journey, being excited about it, naively optimistic, fantasizing about it, but having a lack of clarity over. It's either like you're trying to choose who is your soulmate and then you find them in May, or see, the Seven of Pentacles reversed is reflective energy. It's looking back at what's been cultivated so far and feeling like it's not enough. We need more money. We need to like do Eight of Pentacles. We need to grow and expand. We need to find a way to bring more money in, to increase income. It's the start. It's the beginning. The Page of Wands. King and Queen of Cups upright. So a very nice energy. Yeah, so you could feel like together you don't know, you're at a crossroads and you don't know whether to finish it, or it's like a lack of clarity when it comes to options, and it's to do with a soul tie to someone. You don't feel like you've cultivated enough with this person. Because the Seven of Pentacles is reflective, it's looking back at the past. And if it was upright, it'd be like, look at everything we've built together. And reverse, it's like we haven't built enough together. So it's either like you're questioning whether to be with them anymore, and we'd go from the Seven of Pentacles, you know, reverse, to the Eight of Pentacles reverse, like I no longer wish to invest in this, I don't want a future in it. And we'd have like an Eight of Cups scenario, or you're at a crossroads in terms of like, how do I pick something so that we can cultivate more, because we haven't cultivated enough. We haven't built up enough savings. We haven't got to that point where we can purchase a house. We're still renting. You know, how do I sort this out? It's either what do I want or how do I sort it out. With it being the Seven of Cups reversed, though, it's more like, what do I want? Because cups are emotion. If it was, if it was more of like a problem-solving energy, it would be like, you know, the Seven of Wands, like competitive, Eight of Pentacles, like growth and expansion, Three of Pentacles, cooperating, working together. This is more like, what do I want vibes? Like, I'm at a crossroads, and emotionally, which direction should I go in? Like, what do I want next? There's a lack of clarity, and there's been a lack of growth. I'm leaning more towards you questioning whether to be in this marriage or seriously long-term relationship. You're wondering whether it's got legs anymore, because you haven't built enough together. There's not enough growth to satisfy you, Capricorn. And Capricorn is the goat. They want to get to the top of the most difficult places. They want to be a winner. They want to get to the summit of that mountain. They want to get to the edge of the cliff. They want to be, you know, in the middle, like halfway up of this crazy, massive dam that no other animal could even access, like other than an eagle or something. Like, the goat is getting up there no matter what, and they will go up without anyone else. They do it themselves, you know, like, so maybe you're sick of the lack of growth, financial or assets wise, with this current relationship. Even though you're very well suited to each other, you're the King and Queen of Cups, you literally suit one another, you're both cups. You're both very patient and calm. Maybe it's, how do I want to work this so that we can grow more, rather than do I want to grow more. But it is very much a like want vibes over like, how do I, it's more of a like, do I want. Interesting. Could be predicting a breakup there, but it'd be one that you choose, I think. Right, Aquarius. It's a bit of a funny stance, isn't it? Oh my god. Good calves. Great calves. Okay, Aquarius, how are your finances doing? Spirit, please give me 3 cards. One for the past, so the last month. One for the present, today, tomorrow, yesterday. And one for the future, the near future, so the month ahead. So first of all, a card for the recent, excuse me, the recent past, career, education, finance. Right, so we've got the Four of Wands reversed, so you could have had a lot of instability within the home. So if you think about all the costs that it takes to run a home, you may have got behind on your mortgage payments, your rent. There could be arguments, you know, there could be like a situation where you're not sure how you're going to like make the next payment, or, you know, things are just unstable at the moment. There's a lack of security when it comes to the home. That's what the Four of Wands is. It's literally the four walls to a house. I mean, in a love sense, it's the 1111 card. It's the, you know, being committed to each other, running a home, being married, being exclusive to one another. 4 is a number of stability. So there being a lack of stability, but this is a career, education and finance reading. So it could affect your home or assets or your work, particularly your home. Okay. Let's get one for the present. So today, tomorrow, yesterday, education, career and finance for Aquarius, please. Current position. Okay, so you could be isolating yourself at the moment. You may be thinking, oh my God, like I need to look within. I need to sort this out. I'm trying to problem solve. This is the major arcana for Virgo. In the story of the major arcana, the fool realizes that he has to look within. The answers don't lie in other people. I want to figure this out myself, and I need to, you know, have some time away from everyone so I can figure this out. Okay. I mean, only you know how you've been spending money. Only you know what the land lies like in work. Only you know if you're prepared to go and find work somewhere else. Only you know if you've got bad spending habits. We've got the Three of Cups here. Now, the Three of Cups can be a third party dynamic. So it can be in the wider sense, in the more general sense, it can be teams, groups of people, celebration. You know, when you raise a glass, you have a party, you celebrate. So it doesn't have to be, like in a love reading, I would say, oh, there's 3 people here instead of 2. The Two of Cups is 2 people, each offering a cup to the other. You know, when there's 3, that's 1 too many. It's, you know, a love triangle. But there could be a love triangle here. But it might just be that there's some sort of major event or celebration, anniversary, or, you know, the extended family or friends and family coming together. Maybe there's some sort of upcoming event that's going to be too costly and this is on your mind, you're trying to figure it out. I'm just trying to think about all the options. There's instability when it comes to the home, and this is a finance reading. So in terms of holidays, parties, celebrations, events, you know, groups, community, 3 is a number of community. These are happy occasions if we're not considering a love triangle where there's a mistress or, you know, another guy. Then we're just kind of thinking about community and what's celebration, happiness, gatherings. Maybe you've split yourself off from that and you've just hermited away from, you started to say no. You know when like you get invited out by friends or they want you to go around for a dinner party and you're just like no, because you're like, shit, I need to, like, I've got stuff I really need to deal with here. You could just be hermiting away from everyone, or you could be contemplating. This is inward. It's like introspection. It's serious shadow work. So I don't want to make it too light because it's quite a big deal, this card. It's a major arcana. It's shadow work. Like, I'm internally, like, processing something heavy and I need to figure out an answer or figure out the answers, and no one else can give me the answer. Like, yeah, it could just be that you've got loads on your mind and you're like the person that's responsible for fixing whatever you know, is unstable about running the home. You're kind of like the head of the household, whether you're male or female, you're keeping it to yourself so that everyone else will be happy. Does that make sense? You don't want to ruin like the vibe across the house or the wider, when I say community, I mean like friends, family, extended family, friends of friends. You don't want it getting around. Do you know what I mean? Aquarians are incredibly private. Very, very, like, it's air sign energy. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, it's like, I do not share what's going on with my finances. It's that vibe. So in May, in the month of May, the month ahead, we've got a combination. We've got the Seven of Pentacles upright, the Temperance upright. You could be dealing with the Sagittarius, or you could be managing emotions really well. You're reflecting on how well you've done and how much you've cultivated in the past. Three of Pentacles, right. Three of Pentacles is reversed. That could be. See, that is, again, three is a number of community. With Pentacles, it tends to reflect a workplace or general cooperation between, you know, a spouse and children and parents to make this work. It's coming together, working together with time, money and energy. I mean, sometimes you do that and you just, you know, you borrow money from parents to tide you over for the next month or the next couple of months because you're struggling. You know, we can all go through periods like that, and it's better to borrow off someone you know than borrow from a bank and have to pay all the interest, you know, on a loan. You never want to go to a loan shark, and you never want to rely upon, you know, gambling to get money. Like, it just gets worse and worse, doesn't it, when you think about stuff like that? But when you borrow from a trusted family member and they trust you, you know, it's just better to have, it's difficult to have money conversations with family, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. It shouldn't be a shameful topic, but people worry about stuff like that. It's our ego. So was that upright or was that reversed? It was reversed, wasn't it? So it could be general cooperation is not good, or like a lack of cooperation between spouses. If you got shifts that clash or lifestyles that clash and you find it difficult to manage responsibilities, or one of you, you know, needs to be earning more money and they refuse to level up, there's a lack of cooperation. If someone refuses to adjust spending, you know, reduce spending or something like this, or they're going wild, you know, with the credit card, like, they still want to live a lifestyle, you know, like that you've lived previously that you can no longer afford or something like this. It's like there's a lack of teamwork. Teamwork's the right word. It can be a workplace, the Three of Pentacles. So it can be a boss who's uncooperative, or someone that manages you, like a line manager that's being difficult, uncooperative. They might be, you know, giving you a bit of a hard time. They might say, look, we're going to reduce your hours, you know, we're going to like change your work contract. We're going to give you a new contract, but it's going to be, you know, a different one, or, you know, we can't afford to keep you on. Something negative about work there. Let's have a look at these other cards. Five of Wands reversed is avoiding conflict. The High Priestess upright, following intuition, having faith that things will work out. Could be that you went for a job and you didn't get it, do you know what I mean? But I feel like that would be the Ace of Pentacles reversed, or the Page of Pentacles reversed. This is like teams, cooperation. It's uncooperative, or like lack of cooperation. We're looking back at the past, which is being productive, being very productive. We're managing our emotions well. We're avoiding arguments and conflict. But there's a lack of cooperation, and we're having faith. So the workplace could be difficult about stuff. They can be, you know, shitty sometimes, can't they? Like, just depends. You could have a nightmare boss. You could have someone who's difficult. Or it could be general teamwork across the family isn't really working, but you've got faith that it's going to work out, which I like. You know, you're not pessimistic about things. You're trying to avoid arguments. You're trying to avoid arguments. You're trying to stay upbeat and positive in the month ahead. You're managing your emotions really, really well. Avoid conflict. But the Three of Pentacles reverse, why would we have that? See, if we had the Eight of Cups upright with the Three of Pentacles upright, I'd say you're leaving a job. You're leaving a job, but we haven't got that combination. It's like just a lack of cooperation, a lack of teamwork. So that could be at home or it could be at work. It's a finance reading, isn't it? So we've got a lot of threes here, though. We've got a lot of threes. So only you know what's going on in your life, Aquarius, but it could be third party vibes. Does not have to be. As I say, it could just be like you're not discussing with family or friends, or you don't want to worry anyone. You're not telling parents, you know, like that you're struggling with the house or the bills or the mortgage this month because you just don't want people to know, you know, your business. Okay, Pisces. Let's see what's going on with Pisces. What's going on with Pisces is finances in the month of April, what's been happening, then the present, today, tomorrow, yesterday, and then the near future, the month of May. Spirit guides, universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Pisces' highest good. Please can you give me 3 cards for Pisces, education, career and finance, one for the past, one for the present and one for the future. First of all, the past, so the last month, the month of April. How was education, career and finance looking? The Queen of Wands reversed. Okay, so you might have lost your fire energy with it being reversed. When it's upright, it's heavy Sagittarius energy. It's Aries, Leo, Sagittarius with the wands, which is fire. But heavy Sag. I mean, Sagittarians are the archer, they're adventurous, they're capable, they go looking for success, they don't wait for it to happen. You know, it's the same with Aries and Leo, they do not wait for stuff to happen, they have to go out and hunt, they want to go out and hunt, they're excited by that, okay, it gets them going. The Queen of Wands reversed is someone who has lost that passion, they've lost that enthusiasm, they've lost confidence. Okay? Wands are phallic, so it's about being confident, assertive, solar plexus activated, passionate, self-driven, self-motivated, ambitious, goal-orientated, focused. When it's reversed, you're either being overly excited, overly passionate, you know, just way too fiery, you know, almost like angry or pushy, Or you could be like a lack of passion, a lack of motivation, demotivated, you know, deflated. So you'll know what the vibe is, but it ain't good, put it that way. Let's get one for the present. So today, tomorrow, yesterday. How's education, career and finance for Pisces? Today, tomorrow, yesterday. Right, in the judgment, right, in the challenge position, we've got the judgment, which is a call to action. So the challenge is, am I going to act? Am I going to take action? Am I going to move? This person's trying to raise the dead. They're trying to get you to act. It's the angel Gabriel, like, the archangel wants, you know, to raise the dead. They want change. The universe wants you to take action. So the challenge is that you've been very lackluster recently, and you know it's a challenge to be assertive, to feel confident, to feel excited. So what about the month of May, the month ahead? The Two of Cups reversed. Something is not a good match, and it could be love, or it could be that you're not in alignment with the workplace that you're in. You've fallen out of love with your business. It's to do with emotion, okay? Cups. When you've got the Two of Cups, it's an early partnership where each person is in love. They have equal emotion. Each person offers a cup. When it's reversed, it's unrequited love. It's like one person's fallen in love and the other just doesn't feel as deeply. So it's like you could feel like, yeah, you're not in love with your job anymore. You've fallen out of love with your vocation, your career. You don't feel that you are in alignment, you know, with what you're doing or what you've invested in, or a boss that you have, whatever partnership, you know, it doesn't have to be love, because it's a finance reading, so it could be a boss, it could be a working relationship, or another client that you deal with just isn't working, just doesn't vibe. You could have, you know, you can go into partnership with someone and they have really different ideas about how to approach stuff and you just can't agree on anything. Some matches just don't match, do they? Like, it's a mismatch. Or you could feel like demotivated because, you know, your person gets demotivated, or you're demotivated because this person, you know, you might have told them that you love them, you may be in love, and they have said, look, I don't feel that strongly, and they're giving you the flirt divert or something. Then that's why you feel, you know, lackluster, because you knew something might be off with that. You know, it doesn't mean that it's independent of love. Love affects our motivation, our confidence, but it could be nothing to do with love, and this could represent a partnership of any kind. Could represent a person you deal with financially, or a vocation that you have, just fallen out of love with it, or it's not in alignment with who you are right now. I mean, I started a primary teaching course and left it, and I just felt nothing but relief afterwards. So that's what I mean, like a partnership or a mismatch with a vocation. Like, sometimes you just feel like something's really not in alignment. It really doesn't. I don't want to make it too much about love, you say, because it's actually a finance reading. So yeah, the Queen of Wands, you could have been angry or lackluster, demotivated. I would say demotivated because you got the Judgment, the call to action as the challenge at the moment. Maybe you're going to tell someone, you know, like, look, I want to leave my job. I'm going to hand in my resignation. I want to give my notice. Just, you know, you never tell a workplace, you know, you don't need to be honest. You just leave things on good terms and you say, like, I just think it's time for me to move on. Or I'm relocating for X, Y, or Z, or, you know, you think of a way that it's never their fault. Do you know what I mean? Because you want good references and all the rest of it. I'm sure you know that, but in the UK, workplaces don't really give negative references because they're worried about being sued for defamation of character or, you know, like loss of earnings by the person that was employed. But I know abroad it's vicious, and people can be very emotional. If you leave their workplace, they'll give you a negative reference or get you demoted in your new place. It's vicious. Yeah, you could be resigning, you could be shutting down a business, you know, you could be it's like admitting something or revealing, you know, that you don't want something anymore. Cups is emotion. As I say, if it's upright, it's each person feeling the same. You don't feel the same or they don't feel the same about a partnership or a vocation or a career, or sometimes it's like a course that you've started and you think, shit, I really, really hate this. I thought I was going to really like it and I just can't stand it. You know what I mean? But things like that, they can always be sorted out. You could be saying, look, I want to withdraw my investment out of something. I don't want these like stocks or bonds anymore. I want to take my money back out. I don't know. It's not pentacles though, is it? It's cups, so it's definitely like a lack of genuine like emotion, just genuinely not in alignment with something anymore. Like they're not or you're not. I hope that makes sense for someone. It's all quite interesting anyway. It seems to flow, doesn't it? The 3 cards that come out in a row. It does seem to flow. I just thought I'd do that as a not as a change, but an addition because I've got more time off at the moment. But I hope you liked it. I hope it doesn't mess up my algorithm. I've got a lot of likes, so that's good. Take care, guys, and I will be doing the weekly love readings. I might start them Friday just because I'll be a bit anxious to think about. I'll back to work on Monday, so I might get a start on them Friday night rather than wait till Saturday morning. See how it goes. Yeah, because I'm out Saturday night actually. Yeah, I'll start them Friday. All right, take care. Have a lovely rest of your night or day, wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one.